Okay. Hey everyone, we're back. Hopefully we can get things going. Honestly, this is really starting to bug me. The number of drop times. Okay. So I think we're live now, again. So we're trying to I'm trying to show you the behind the scenes. So just going to hide my show label and let's get on to part 2 of the actual design process. Come on. Alright. So I need to get the video going. There we go. So this is a screen recording of my iPad and going into Affinity Photo. And I'm just going to show off the areas that I did. So I put in, for the bodysuit, a number of rectangles into the place for socks, for the sleeves of the blazer. Then of course I've got another rectangle in order with a mask up to do the underwear and socks. And that's just the basic bodysuit. Going into the next part, which is the actual long sleeve dress that we combined the blazer and the actual skirt. So I started off with a base rectangle in order to get the blazer at the right proportion. We kept the simple white base dress. Then I put in a couple of rectangles for the cuffs, and then of course long rectangles in order to do the piping, the lines on the skirt, the blazer, and the parts that had the different edges, I used a pixel layer on. And of course I used shapes in order for buttons, straps, and of course a master mask over the whole thing in order to do the actual shape, just so that I could have the cuffs where I want them. And of course I exported this out as a PNG in order to maintain the transparency. It's the same with the basic layers on the actual, or basically any of the V-Roy stuff I saved as a PNG to save the transparency. Of course I used a rectangle in order with a blending mode of erase in order to basically block out the area that I want for the pants so that I could essentially have the undershorts and then the boots. And of course, rectangles in order to do the line work and the actual basically line work, and then of course circles for the edging. Then go into the actual necktie and put a masking layer on to cut out the stuff that I didn't want, and of course a gold rectangle in order to do the gold effect in the center. So that's basically that for the actual for our now hopefully this will keep on recording while I switch to the assembly. Yes, it's going to keep on going. That's perfect. Just resize it. Of course, it looks like my own avatar has stopped moving. Okay. There we go. We're moving again. Alright, so I'm going to start the assembly video. So we're back into Vivroy Studio. And just in process of assembly. So I'll replace the marking layers that I did with the actual dress and such. So here we go. We're pulling in the files that I actually need and replacing the different textures. So I keep them nicely organized so I know that certain files belong to certain outfits, like the long sleeve dress, or short sleeve dress, shirt, and such. So just place it on there. Of course, I'm going to have to toggle the visibility of the underlayer. And there I'm just double checking, making sure everything is falling where I planned it to be. Next we'll be switching out the textured layer of the pants, bringing that in. I don't have to worry about the pumps because they come in standard white anyway. Okay, just bringing the actual file in, and not too bad. It's coming together, but I have a feeling that there's still going to be some tweaks, but I won't know until I actually do the actual walk test, just to make sure that everything is being appropriately. And of course I've got to go over out of the clothing editor and head over to the body editor so I can get in the bodysuit. And in the body suit or clothing, I also have to add in the necktie because I forgot to do that the first time when I was setting things up. So we're just adding in the accessory, the necktie, and I do know that there will probably be a few things that I'll have to change out of and adjust, but at least it won't be as much thanks to the markings that I did before. So here we're just putting in my new file that I did on the iPad and bringing that in. It's nice to keep things organized so I can easily find them. And make sure that I get the right file for the right piece. So here we're putting in my adjustment, turning off the default layer, making sure that things fall. Here I am realizing that the necktie is falling actually a lot lower than what it should be, though I have no way to actually adjust that. But in order to get the fluttering ribbon ends, that's maybe what I'm going to have to do, is just adjust the line painting in order to make it fall to that point. So now I'm heading over to the body editor, bringing in the body suit that I did in order to test its fit, in order to make sure that things are falling correctly. Okay, once I find the right one, I'll be able to bring it into the actual file. Unfortunately with V-Roy, it does take a while to find the right things. There we go, we got the bodysuit in place. I'm just toggling around, checking the fit, making sure that things are falling, and this is where I'm realizing that I could adjust the bodysuit a bit more in order to make the blazer actually look correct. But otherwise, it's actually not too bad. Just a few adjustments, and those are nice and easy to actually do. So here we're just turning off the previous layer that I had on there so that it shows just the skin that I want. And then we'll have to take it over to actually the test walk to make sure that things are falling correctly. But I pretty much know that just some minor tweaks need to be done. So I'm just going to speed up the video just a bit, take us over to the actual walk, which is in the exporter. Oh, there we go. Got a simple walk going. I can actually turn around, see where things are falling. I do need to make a few adjustments, but it's actually not a bad first run of this. And this is a very simple outfit to make. It was good for a start. So that shows the basics of the actual outfit. And not bad for essentially my first show. So I am going to sign off here before my system decides to sign off for me. I'll prepare something even more elaborate for tomorrow's show. Look forward to it. Until then, see ya!